accidental deletions or unintended changes to data can happen in any system. In cloud environments, having the ability to recover data quickly is critical. Point-in-time restore in Azure Blob Storage allows you to restore block blobs in a storage account to an earlier state within a configured retention window. This video explains how to configure point-in-time restore for Azure Blob Storage. Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. I'm Manhar and welcome back to MSFT WebCast. Point-in-time restore is useful in scenarios where a user or application accidentally deletes data or when an application error corrupts data. It also supports testing scenarios that require reverting a dataset to a known state before running additional tests. This feature is supported only for general purpose V2 storage accounts in the standard performance tier. Additionally, only data in the hot and cool access tiers can be restored using point-in-time restore. Accounts with a hierarchical namespace are not currently supported. Point-in-time restore works by leveraging three underlying features: blob versioning, change feed, and soft delete. Blob versioning maintains previous versions of blobs when they are overwritten or deleted. Change feed records all changes made to blobs in a log file. Soft delete temporarily retains deleted blobs for a specified retention period. When you perform a restore, Azure reads the change feed to determine what changes occurred between the current time and the specified restore point. It then uses the version data to revert blobs to their state at that point in time. The restore operation applies only to block blobs within a specific container or a set of containers. It does not affect append blobs, page blobs, or metadata such as container ACLs. Before enabling point-in-time restore, ensure these requirements are met. The storage account must be general purpose V2 account. Only block blobs are supported, append blobs and page blobs are not supported. Open your preferred web browser, navigate to portal.azure.com and sign in with your Azure account. In the search bar at the top of the portal, type Storage. Under Services, select Storage Accounts. This page displays a list of storage accounts from your Azure environment. Step 1. Enable point-in-time restore. For this demo, I have created a storage account named GJStoreACC. Expand Data Management and then select Data Protection. Under the Recovery section, check the box Enable Point-in-Time Restore for Containers. When you select this option, soft delete for blobs, blob versioning, and change feed are also enabled. These are prerequisites. Set the maximum restore point for point-in-time restore in days. This number must be at least 1 day less than the retention period specified for the blob soft delete. For this demo, I am setting maximum restore point to 2 days ago and soft delete for 3 days. Adjust these settings based on your requirements. When ready, click Save to apply the changes. Wait until the confirmation notification appears. We have successfully enabled the point-in-time restore feature for the storage account. Next, let's go and test it. Expand data storage and then select containers. For this demo, I have created 2 containers. Access the test container. Open File Explorer and navigate to Documents folder. I have created a sample text file with the name commands. Let's upload the blob file to a container. Go back to the Azure Portal. Click on Upload. Click the Browse for File link. Locate the file on your computer, select it and click on Open. When ready, click the Upload button and wait for the confirmation notification. Check that the blob file was uploaded successfully. For the next step, we will modify one of the blob file. Select the blob file. Go to Edit tab. Remove the first 2 lines from the blob file. Click Save on the top bar to save the changes. Go to Versions tab. You can view the blob file version in the Azure Portal. Select the blob version and click Download. In the New tab, you'll see that this version of the blob file contains 4 usernames. Close the tab. Go to the containers page for your storage account. Step 2. Perform a restore operation. You can restore a single container or all containers in the storage account, or restore a range of blobs in one or more containers. Let's see how we can restore a specific container. Select the container named test container. On the top bar, click restore containers, and from the menu, select restore selected. This field specifies the exit time you want the container to return to. Azure will replay the storage logs and restore the container state as it existed at that time. Imagine a timeline in which the container is working normally at 4:30 am. At 4:34 am, a script accidentally deletes several blobs from the container. You notice the issue at 4:44 am. Based on this timeline, to recover the deleted blobs, you should set the rollback time field to 4:33 am. This restores the container to the moment just before the deletion occurred. Blob ranges allow you to restore only a subset of blobs within a container instead of restoring the entire container. You define the range using lexicographical blob names. Suppose your container contains these blobs named log1, log2, log3, log4, and log5. By default, the restore selected containers specify a range that includes all blobs in the container. Delete this range if you don't want to restore the entire container. If we set range container name /log3 to container name log5, this restores only blobs from log3 to log5. Click yes, I want to proceed, and then click restore to begin the restoration process. For this example, we want to restore entire container. Use the calendar icon to select the date and time that you want the container restored to. Check the yes, I want to proceed box to confirm that you want to continue. Select restore to start the restoration operation. You will receive a notification that point-in-time restore operation will be initiated shortly. As it logs the container and replaces the storage logs to restore the blobs to the selected timestamp. After the operation completes, the deleted blobs reappear and the container returns to the state it had at the selected timestamp. Click on Notification. Once the restoration process begins, the containers in the storage account will be inaccessible. We will be on Overview page. Click on Containers. As you can see, the containers in the storage account are currently inaccessible. Click on Notification icon. Click More Events in the Activity Logs to check the logs. Click to expand Restore Blob Ranges. The restoration operation has started. Completion may take some time. For large storage accounts, the restore can take several hours depending on the changes between the restore point and now. Let's wait for the restoration process to complete. I'll pause the recording now and I'll resume it once the restoration is completed. The restoration process has been completed successfully. This process took approximately 17 minutes to complete. Let's check the blob files in the container. Go back to the storage account page. Click on Overview and then again click on Containers. Access the test container. We can see all files are present, but we are more interested in sample uses blob file. Click on sample uses blob file. Go to Edit tab. We can see all 4 entries are present. Before point-in-time restore, we have modified this blob file and removed first 2 entries. After the restoration, we get the original file with all 4 entries. Go to Versions tab. We can see we have another version. Let's select the latest version and click on Download. We'll find the version with 2 entries only. This version was created automatically before point-in-time restoration. This means we have successfully performed point-in-time restoration for this container. Keep in mind that point-in-time restore increases storage cost in 2 ways. Every overwrite creates a new version. Old versions consume storage until they are deleted or expired. The change feed generates logs that also consume storage. To manage cost, you can set a reasonable restore window and use lifecycle management policies to delete old versions after the restore window expires. That's how you can configure point-in-time restore for Azure Blob Storage. That's all for this video. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on Microsoft Azure and other Microsoft related topics. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.